Hello, I'm Grandad. Today I'm going to read a story about a rabbit with very long ears. The trouble is that when I said that, I had a few friends thought they'd like to come and listen as well. I think I'm sat in a warren here. So this is the story of Leo the Loth. The snow fell lightly and brought the quiet hush of winter to the forest. With each passing day, more and more snow fell, until everything was covered in a soft and gentle blanket. The creatures of the forest were nestled warmly in their beds, sleeping away the cares of winter and dreaming of a warm summer morning. All the creatures, that is, except for a fuzzy, flop-eared rabbit named Leo. He was bored stiff. It wasn't that Leo was always bored, but with the coming of winter, he had to stay indoors more and more because it was cold and wet outside. Leo searched in vain for something to do. He dug out a musty old game and tried to play it by himself. Now we all know that playing a game by yourself sometimes can be really boring. So sadly he put the game away. Leo even tried making funny faces at the mirror. But even that didn't make him happy. Oh, there's nothing to do, he sighed to himself. I'm so bored. I know, he shouted in glee, to no one in particular. I'll go outside and find somebody to play with. And with that he wrapped himself up in his favourite scarf, put on his mittens, and dashed happily out into the snow. He looked and he looked, but he could find no one to play with. Where is everybody, he thought. Then suddenly it dawned on him. They must have gone to sleep for the winter. Well, I'll just have to go and wake them up. So he hopped off through the fluffy drifts of snow. Leo slipped and slid over to an old weathered oak tree and carefully climbed up to a crook on the main branch. There, just as he remembered from last year, was the hole where the squirrels lived. He knocked softly on the tree, saying, "Squirrels, squirrels, wake up, it's boring out here. I want to play with someone." He listened very carefully, but the only thing he heard was the soft snoring and somebody mumbling in their sleep. They probably didn't hear me, Leo thought. "Come on, squirrels," he shouted as he pounded on the tree. "It's time to play. Wake up and play." Well, the squirrels heard him that time, for here Leo could hear them rustling about, grumbling and muttering. "What's going on?" yawned a sleepy and very upset squirrel as he joined Leo on the limb of the tree. "I was bored," said Leo with a big smile on his face, "so I thought I'd wake you guys up and we can play some games or something." The squirrel looked at him in disbelief. "You woke us up so that you could play some stupid game?" With a puff and a snort, he shoved Leo off the tree and sent him flying into the snowbank. "Silly rabbit, go find somebody else to play with. It's cold outside and we need our sleep." And with a yawn and a stretch, he shuffled back into the warm comfort of the tree. Leo sat in the snow for a moment or two as he tried to understand what had happened. Dumb old squirrel. Probably got up on the wrong side of the bed. He looked around trying to figure out who else he could play with, when suddenly he spied a flock of little birds flitting about. "Hi, birds," he shouted. "I'm bored." and don't have anything to do. Do you want to play? The birds landed on the branch right above Leo and looked at him curiously. Are you kidding? They said. We're looking for food, and you want to know if we want to play. You must be nuts. And with that they flew away in a flutter of feathers and left Leo on his own. Leo was becoming very confused. He was bored, there was nothing to do, and nobody to do it with, even if he could find something to do. Oh, pooh, he grumbled, and he kicked Snow out of the way. He wandered about aimlessly for hours and hours, looking in vain for something to do, when the winter silence was broken by a voice out of nowhere. Who are you, and what are you doing? Leo turned round, trying to find out who had spoken, and he finally looked up into the snowy branches and saw an old owl. My name is Leo, he sighed. I was so bored staying in my den, I thought I would wake somebody up to play with. But the squirrels were too tired, and the birds are too busy, and I'm bored stiff. The owl thought for a moment or two, and then quietly said, Did you ever stop to think that maybe you could play by yourself and have just as much fun? Leo scratched his ear with his big thumpy foot and sputtered, But there's nothing to do, no one to share it with. Well, there's lots of things to do, said the owl, and after you've done them, come this spring, you can tell all your friends about your marvellous winter fun. Well, I'll try, said Leo, as he started to walk away. And suddenly, with a smile on his face, he turned and said, Do you want to play? No, Leo, said the owl. I have to find food to eat, and you must learn to entertain yourself. And with that, the owl flew away, leaving Leo sitting in the snow, all alone. Well, he sighed, I suppose I've got to try. And try he did. He walked over the forest looking for something to do, but didn't seem to be anything. He walked up the hills through the heavy snow, searching and searching. Oh, I'm getting tired of hopping through the snow. Maybe I'll just slide down this hill and go home. And he sat back on his big feet and slid quickly down the hill. He said, that was kind of fun. So he found a bigger hill and climbed to the top. This time, with a little bit of a jump, he got down swooshing down the hill, faster and faster, zigging this way and that way. Wow, that's fun. And he considered to continue to slide for about an hour or more. Finally, Leo got a little tired and thought, well, maybe there are more things I can do myself. So he looked around and decided what he could do. He rolled a ball of snow, then several more, and put them all together. And he built the biggest snow bunny that had ever been built in the forest. Boy, that was fun. Leo went home later that afternoon, a tired but very happy rabbit. He played like this for days and days, building snow bunnies, sliding down the hills, and once or twice he just laid in the snow, waving his arms around, making funny figures. As he was playing like this one morning, he noticed a small green shoot peeping through the snow. He looked around, and sure enough, there were little shoots all over the place. It must be the beginning of spring, he said gleefully. And sure enough, Leo had been having so much fun, he didn't even notice that spring had sprung. And as he watched in quiet amazement, the flowers began to bloom, and the snow softly melted. Leo spent most of the spring and part of the summer telling the other creatures about the wonderful time he'd had during the winter, playing by himself, but telling them of his adventures. It was almost as if they had spent the winter playing with him. And although he played with all the animals whenever he could, once in a while Leo would go off and play by himself. So, when you're all alone and there's nothing to do, remember Leo's lessons, because you can always play with you. There's Leo. Bye-bye, Leo. Did we like that, guys? Was that fun? Okay, we'll try and find another one sometime. Bye-bye.